All right, this is Fisayo. I'll be coming to you on this podcast of life issues. Straight to the point. I learned something yesterday from a very dear friend of mine, which I think is important for me to, share with as many that will be opportune, privileged to listen to this podcast. And it's about the computer system. It operates on a binary system. And how that function is very simple, very arithmetical. And I want to kind of share that and relate that to life because that is what actually brings about the relevance as far as I'm concerned. Um, it's the binary system in the computer. It's like kind of works in two, like two, two, two. Take for instance, you have if you have zero and you have another zero, that's a binary system. The result you'll get is going to be zero. When you get zero and one, the result will be zero. When you get one and zero, the result will be zero. When you get one, and of course you'll get the output as one. Now, the relevance of that is very key to life. And for as long as there is a deficiency in our lives, which can be referred to as that zero, it does not matter the one that you have. Eventually, that zero is going to nullify the one. How that works basically is that zero has a very superimposing effect on the one. So let's take, for instance, you have a particular aspect of your life, going all well and good. Perhaps, you're rich, you have money, and you have everything that you think life has to offer. But in a particular aspect of your life, there is a deficiency. It could be a disease, it could be a sickness, it could be a marital crisis, it could be whatever is it that signifies that zero will eventually nullify the one that you have. And that is why it's important for us to continue to work towards being holistic in our lives, making sure we take care of every deficiency in our lives in a very, very effective way, in such a way that it does not in any way have a superimposing effect on whatever we have going on well with us. And so, but when we ignore that zero, we can be very sure that the whole thing we are putting together is going to be like a pack of cards eventually. I can relate that with this man called Naaman, in the scripture. The scriptures talk about the fact that he was a very great warrior and he was well known. He was a general in the army. But there was a zero in his life that almost kind of invalidated all these achievements until somebody came, a maid came, who was concerned about that zero and put him through to bring solution to that zero. His life was almost meaningless. I believe very strongly, the lady was very close to that family. She knew what was going on in the family day in, day out, as the man continued to mourn over the zero of his life. As I believe very strongly that the lady continually saw, the hopelessness and the helplessness of this great general in the house. And that was why she was so concerned, and she took, a very, commendable step in, linking or networking this man to the solution of his life. Now, what I'm saying in essence is that it will be disastrous and catastrophic for us to be doing well in some other areas of our lives and we neglect the area of deficiency in our lives. You must pay attention to it. You must continue to prayerfully look for solution to that zero in your life, because if you do not, eventually it's going to nullify everything you have ever put together. And I think it's something that is important for us to kind of pay attention to. The binary system of computer also applies to the binary system of life. As it functions in the computer system, so it functions in our own lives also. We've seen a lot of celebrities, they are doing well. They are on the world stage. They're well known all over the world. But you will discover that the deficiency in their life the zero in their lives will eventually cause all that they have put together to crumple like pack of cards. Some of them are into drugs, and you discover that eventually, that drug will eventually ruin their lives. Some of them have some very, some of them are, they are into sexual promiscuity. And eventually that will bring their downfall. We've seen some of them that have been sent to jail just because, there was an allegation of rape and stuff like that. So it's important for you not to ignore the zero in your life if you really want your life to be meaningful at the end of the day. Else, you are just building your castle in the air. I mean, this message is for all of us. I'm not just sharing it with you alone. Of course, as a matter of fact, I have to sit down and evaluate my own personal life and continue to kind of look at the zeros in my life and make sure, that I continue to pay attention to that. Else, there's no future. We're not going nowhere until that aspect of our life is taken care of. I do hope this, will in a way minister to you, and you can do your own personal research on what I've just shared. And I believe very strongly it's going to make a big difference in your life. You can pay attention to the zeros in your life. And thank you so much, Pastor Olawiye, for sharing this with me. The guy is a computer guru, and I just thank God that I learned or I gleaned that from that man. Thank you so very much, and I do hope this will be a blessing to you, and that would in a way bring about the